Turn on the RTX. All right, Naya aggro. So this is, we've played some Teamer Rhythm decks that focus around Rhythm of the Wild that went up bigger into flying creatures. And this is like a barely Naya deck. Like this is a green-red base deck that has a small white splash for Tajik, because curving Growth Chamber into Tajik is pretty sweet because he mentors onto Growth Chamber and goes and finds a friend. But more importantly, the white splash gets us to Kotley Honor Guard in our sideboard, which is an incredibly powerful card against like the Sultai and green-black mid-range decks in the format, right? Lyra is possibly a little ambitious. If you're on mobile, use your browser to visit the desktop version of Twitch and buy your bits that way. Dodge the charge up. This has been a public service announcement. God bless K-Sin. So we have 13 white sources, maybe a little ambitious to cast Lyra, but this card's really powerful when it's good. So I think it's worth jamming a couple copies in here. One of the things I'm not 100% sure of looking at this deck list is Pelt Collectors, a card that's been a little underwhelming in games that I've played in the past. Of course, that being said, having 8 1-mana creatures is kind of appealing. So let's dive into some matches and see how this goes. More mono Bant, Burgle. It's a Bant kind of day. Yes, buying bits costs more on mobile because any money you put through a mobile app has to give a cut to the Android or iOS app store. Yikes. Okay, look at that. Just what a perfect use for our Temple of Tilt emotes. Okay, sweet. That's decent. Let's put these into play. Please bump the Bant deck of your choice. I may go into withdrawal tomorrow. Thank you, Swift. Yikes. That's rough. Someone asked about heroic reinforcements. I think heroic reinforcements is a little bit too much of a nombo alongside Rhythm of the Wild to be worth playing. 92% to cast it on curve is probably fine. Probably okay. I think I just have to play defense here. Yeah, drawing Rhythm of the Wild is not a card that's good in these mid-range or aggressive style matchups. I don't have a way to kill their thing here, so I guess I just can't because I don't want them to kill my token. Rhythm's definitely gonna be one of the cards I'm gonna be sideboarding out here in a hot second. I could definitely see there being a world where I just like don't want Rhythms in the main deck and I just like want more creatures in removal. I just, like, don't have any good plays here. Yeah, we're pretty dead. Like, I can't block their Phoenix because the Skarrgan Hellkite just cleans up my token, which means they just get to, like, pressure me out over the next 2 turns. Let's get some removal in my deck. There's only 3 Lava Coils in my sideboard. That might be a miss as well. This is probably actually a matchup where Lyra is pretty good. I'm going to trim a Llanowar Elves because it's a little bit mediocre in the face of... Chain Whirler. Well, Tajik would... Okay, I guess Tajik prevents that. Yeah, and Tajik would be big enough to get himself out of range, so maybe that's better. I don't know. The way they attacked with their Phoenix implied that they had a removal spell in their hand, which means Tajik's not long for this world. Well, Pelt Collector ideally is going to get out of range of Chain Whirler most games. The problem is, did you see my health total? I wasn't gonna have time to like make that stuff happen, Matt Wood. Like if I was like 12 points of health higher, maybe. What are the odds we ever get back to more than one modern deck a day? As long as standard is regularly getting 2,000 plus viewers every day, I'm not gonna be doing more than one standard deck per day. Or more than one modern deck per day. As long as the modern numbers are mediocre and the standard numbers are great and I have a full standard deck queue, I'm gonna be doing more standard. That's true. If we have arena downtime, maybe. But arena hasn't been having... Arena's not Magic Online. They don't have 10 hours of downtime, usually. Both Modern as a format are kind of medium right now, and Magic Online is Magic Online, which just, like, makes it tough. This curve's pretty good. Shalai into Hellkite's a heck of a curve. It's not even about the money, Holler. All things considered, if Standard and Modern are like equally popular, and the choice is like Standard on here and Modern on Magic Online, I greatly prefer playing Standard on Magic Arena. It's much more enjoyable. In my subjective opinion, I prefer playing Standard on here to Modern on Magic Online. I think some variety is important, so I don't mind playing some good decks on Magic Online on occasion. Rough. Your objective opinion, Dad? My objective opinion doesn't exist. Is Narset canon tomorrow? I don't know. I think Legacy Reanimator's at the top of the Moto queue after Kiki Cord. Good decks like Kiki Cord, yeah. I do that one for 50 SCTR. No, I almost never play Paper Magic these days. When I get together with friends to play games casually, usually we just play board games. We're pretty dead here, right? They just like have card advantage and I have an elf and nothing. Let's move along. Let's try one more with these rhythms, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is just like a bad rhythm deck. Best of 3 ranked goes up tomorrow afternoon. Did I lose interest in Paper Magic because it's my job? Nah, it's just Paper Magic is just like, it's hard to play Paper Magic casually once you've played it competitively. Is basically what it turns into. So like even before I was streaming 40 hours a week, I kind of stopped playing Paper Magic casually when I was grinding on STG events. It's tough to like scale it back basically when you know better and more efficient things exist. At least for me personally, that's how it works. This hand is a great example of why Rhythm's a little awkward in this deck. Or maybe it's not, I don't know, like, am I supposed to... I guess this is fine. I guess I Rhythm on 2 and then play creatures on 3. That's true too. It is so much more energy to play Magic in paper versus digital. Board games are great though. We play a reasonable amount of board games. I think I'm just supposed to Rhythm here. If Rhythm's not good this game, it's basically never going to be good. Because this is one of our better case scenarios for Rhythm, right? That came out this year? Like this year as in 2019 or like this year as in the last calendar year? It's really hard to play board games with muggles. Playing board games with non-Magic players is tough. It ends up like not being fair a lot of the time. So we're not even in that good of a spot here because they have Midnight Reaper. Like if they cast Finality this turn, we're kind of screwed, right? Like they're gonna clear the board and they're gonna draw 4 cards.
This is nothing.
I really don't like social games in Disseum because social games tend to turn into like politics and hurt friendships. Like social games tend to end up with someone leaving upset. I think I just send both of these over here. Because Spell Collector has Trample now, so attacking with both of these should mean Vivian dies. Either Vivian's going to die or they're going to lose most of their board, including the Midnight Reaper. Board games are great. I greatly enjoy board games. Well, well-designed board games. If playing games, if there's one thing I've learned from going to Gen Con for the last 3 years now, 2 years, 3 years. So the last 3 years I've gone to Gen Con every year. And the one thing you really learn from going to Gen Con is that not all board games are created equally. There are an astonishing number of games that make it to print that are really bad, especially with Kickstarter. Like, there's a lot of good games that have gotten Kickstarted that we picked up, but there are some really poorly designed games that have gotten Kickstarted. It's just like, oh, this was play tested and funded. Okay.
Go ahead. I wanted that taken out too.
All right, well, we baited them perfect. We baited them perfectly. They did exactly what I wanted there. I sent 1 elf in each planeswalker, and they blocked the one attacking Vivian, so I was able to Colossus over. Give that elf a tree. It deserves a raise. I think we're still behind, but we did at least get to punk them there. Although if they don't have another play here, their hand might just be really bad. It's not my bot. I don't maintain the bot. If the bot's messed up, that's not something I can fix right now. They've drawn a lot of extra cards. Let me ping the bot person. Is the bot dead? No, the bot's there. It's just the bot's just lagging. It's fine. It's there. Everybody calm down. The bot is there. We're very dead. We did go 3-2 with Kiki Cord. Alright, so we get to Cotley's. We get Lava Coils. I think I'm just supposed to cut Rhythm and Pelt Collector here. I'll leave 1 Rhythm in. we just have so many creatures in this deck that just like don't line up fantastically into what the opponent's deck is doing. They're just like going bigger than we do. I wonder if I just like want all my flyers, since I have so many flyers, just like max out on them so I can go over the top in the most literal sense. That's probably what I want to do. These smaller creatures kind of get gummed up on the ground. I could bring Domri in here. Domri's probably not terrible. He's probably better than some of these other creatures that just like don't attack or block well. Let's give this a try. Whoop. I think we're probably going to restructure this and put like Vivian and a little bit more top end in. I'm going to give the Pelt Collectors a little bit more of a chance, but I've been pretty unimpressed with the rhythm so far. I really feel like rhythm just shines when your deck has more like 4, 5s, and 6s in it. And like, because this deck is lower to the ground, rhythm then becomes worse. This is an important sequencing thing. I want to play Tocatli this turn since I drew it, so I can make sure they don't trigger this. But I'm playing my untapped land, even though I'm only playing a 2-mana spell this turn, because this way they don't block with their Wild Growth Walker, because if they block, I make this a 4/4 and kill their walker. So by playing my untapped land and attacking before I play my spell, I get to deal 2 extra points of damage to my opponent here that I otherwise wouldn't get to deal if I played a tapped land this turn. So by sequencing my lands correctly there, I'm able to get some more damage in. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with these. If they want to trade Midnight Reaper for one of my things here, I'm okay with that. This also, like, let's Growth Chamber Guardian go find a friend. If we cut Rhythm out of this deck, we could try playing Heroic Reinforcements as well, which could be sweet. I agree that Heroic Reinforcements is a powerful white card, probably worth splashing. Tocatli's also worthwhile. She's very good in matches like this one. Like, our hand's pretty mediocre here, but just Tocatli Honor Guard is so good, it might just, like, make up for that fact. Like, just chaining a bunch of 4/4s together here is probably good enough while Tocatli's in play. One wet fart, please. Like, we got 2 more 4/4s coming. I wonder if we're gonna see them pick the... Yikes, alright, probably dead. Yikes, that probably means they have another Explorer creature in their hand. Spells are not our strong suit, apparently. Yeah, Amazon dollars are like the same as real dollars. Most of my real dollars end up turning into things bought on Amazon. deal. That is something completely reasonable that my aggro deck can totally beat. That is a completely reasonable play that my aggro deck can totally beat. This match has been just a great example of why you just can't really play middle. Like, I feel like as long as green-black is popular in this format, and Sultai by extension, you can't play aggro decks that aren't mono-red. You basically need to have a plan to be able to go up over the top and, like, be able to fight through these big amounts of life gain or have a lot of removal for it. Can you help me understand the only upside of Growth Chamber anytime is relating to of searching for at a time? What do you mean? I'm not sure what your question is asking, Mr. Most. Like what your timing question is. Hey, Mox Tangerine, thank you very much for the brand new tier 2 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I think Golgari, Sultai midrange lists have a way to hedge against heavy sweeper effects, or just not. You can just choose to not play into them, I think, in that archetype, especially with extra ways to draw cards. Alright, so Rhythm of the Wild's been a little bit mediocre here. So, like, I feel like I want to take this deck and pull it in, like, one of two directions. I really just feel like the super aggressive build is just, like, not where these colors want to be, just because of what I just talked about, where, like, you basically just can't beat. You can't beat the things that other people are doing as they go further up the curve. So I think rather than playing all of these low to the ground things, I'd much rather try and just like move further up the curve into like a Rhythm into Angels package with Vivian perhaps as well. So like if I get like an extra Shalai in here, and I get a couple of Lyras in here, and I get a couple of Vivians in here to generate some card advantage, and then I put some Incubation Druids in here to add a little bit more ramp as we head up the curve. That seems reasonable. Doesn't seem terrible. Aurelia actually sounds pretty sweet, huh? Aurelia gives us the adapt synergy here. Something along the lines of this, perhaps. Does this seem unreasonable? This seems pretty okay. Just like a bunch of flying threats to like let us go up over the top of like what the other decks are doing. I think I want a 4th Lava Coil on the sideboard, and someone mentioned Worm. I don't think I want Worms in the main deck, but I think I want Ravager Worm in the side. Put an extra Vivian in as well. Domri's kind of mediocre. Someone talking about adding more white sources. I don't know if I really need to add more white sources. I have 4 Incubation Druid that like give me my second white. Is probably not unreasonable. So I have 13 white, and then like these are more white sources. I guess if I'm adding Incubation Druid, I could probably afford to trim a red source though. This is 15 red. I could probably go 14. I don't know. These are both single white, which probably means this is fine. Yeah, definitely, Hyder. When we get the new format on Arena, I definitely plan to dive into that if people are willing to support it. Heroic, yeah, I think I talked about heroic reinforcements. I think with more angels, that's probably not where I want to go. So I think this probably ends up turning into Naya angels is probably a better direction to go. Something like this. Let's try a game with this. Oh, the new format's not coming till the fall when rotation happens. It's a curve. What changed that you like here? Did you read the article, Loma? Did you read the article? If you read the article and you see what's happening now, is like the difference between then and now is very straightforward. Standard is a format that's worth playing now. So Arena now lets me play a Magic format that I enjoy. That's what Magic is for everybody, right? Like we often talk about on stream how like Magic's not one game, it's a subset of multiple games. So like being able to play a format that you care about is what makes it exciting, right? And like Magic Standard format was very bad for a very long time. And while the standard format wasn't something I was interested in playing, I had no interest in playing Arena, right? Because I don't enjoy playing Limited, and if I couldn't play Standard, there weren't any formats that I could play. So what changed was Magic got their act together, and Standard's worth playing. Yeah, Arena was even only best of one for a while too, which I also don't play best of one Magic because I don't enjoy playing Magic that way. So the format changed. Arena changed, it got cards and formats that I felt like I wanted to play. Yeah, the threat to answer balance in the previous standard formats was not good. I mean, was it really a turn off? Tumos, like, they were gonna counter whatever I played that turn anyways, and I'd kind of rather they counter a rhythm than a threat, right? So I chose not to play Rekindling Phoenix there because they were potentially representing a Syncopate with that shock in. I shocked and I shocked to play around a copy of Syncopate. In the matches where rhythm feels bad to take a turn off to cast 2 modes, you should be boarding it out. It just shouldn't be in your deck in those matchups. I mean, these feel good, assuming they don't have copies of Vraska's Contempt, which they likely do. Had the most consistency. Black-White Angels is pretty sweet. I've liked that one a lot. I don't look at decklist while I'm streaming. There's just too much going on. You can find out how good or bad Blue-Red Wizards was yesterday by checking out my website or my YouTube channel. There's always a wrap-up segment at the end of every one of my videos, so if you have a question of like, was this deck good or bad, and you missed it, you don't have time to watch the whole video, you can check it out that way. So I assume they're trading this time around. And like this should be one of the better rhythms, right? Like if rhythm's good here, if rhythm's not good here, it's basically never good. Lose Spellbreaker here, I assume. No, this is game 1. They've used 1 copy of Contempt. If they have a piece of spot removal here, though, they can kill my egg. A lot of good information on the website. Wow, they traded and didn't have a removal spell. That seems loose. I think Incubation Druid's very good, Gorks. I don't know, what do you want from a mana dork, right? Like, the mana dork bar is low. Like, my expectations are reasonable, so I'm fine with it, is basically what it comes down to. So I'm giving this haste as opposed to giving it a 1/1 counter, because if I give it a 1/1 counter from Rhythm, I then can't adapt it, and I'd much rather pay mana and have a 3/5 later than have a 1/3 for free now. The fact that like this here is a great example of Incubation Druid being good, right? Like normally my 2-mana mana dork has no text at this point in the game, whereas here Incubation Druid now has a text box. All right, still dead. Got it. If that was another mana dork, they probably wouldn't have even had to use their sweeper though, right? Give that man a tree. Give that bird a tree. What time am I streaming till today? At least until 4 o'clock. Until at least 4 p.m. Extra Vivian sounds great. Ravager Worm sounds wonderful. I like all of our top ends here. It is currently 10:30 in the morning, so 4 p.m. is 5.5 hours from now. I'll probably stream a little bit past that because I want to do 5 decks today, and Modern ran a little long. It's weird Modern goes long when we don't know 3. Nice, Bird Player. Yeah, a lot of good research up there if people are looking for decks. I think I just trim... Is it trim Collision Colossus or this year? Nah, I don't think Honor Guard's good enough for just Frilled Mystic. I think that's narrow. With 3 Vivians and 2 Ravager Worms, I probably don't need this effect, and the Collision half of this card is a little bit lackluster in the face of removal, or the Colossus half is lackluster in the face of removal. I think I board like this. Sultai doesn't really have any enchantments I'm worried about with Cindervines. And boarding in Cindervines just to deal points of damage to them doesn't seem very good. Yeah, you can find my articles every single week on Wednesdays on coolstuffinc.com or bit.ly/Google articles for short. I really feel like where this list started is a good... It's hard to pick just one board game. This Twitter screenshot has a picture of some of my favorites right now. Awkward. I really feel like where this list started just kind of shows like how if you're gonna play aggro in this format, you basically need to be playing something mono red-esque. And if you're gonna go into mid range, you need to go up the curve a bit so you can go over Wild Growth Walker basically. Perfect. So I didn't keep that first hand on the draw that was missing a color because I didn't have a scry. This hand is very reasonable and has a scry on the draw, so I'm more inclined to keep it. Also, if you look at the mana base that my deck is playing, I'm more likely to hit a green source on the draw than I am to hit a red source because there's like 18 green sources in my deck and there's only 15 red sources. Best of 3 rank starts tomorrow. White-based aggro is okay. That's fair. That's fair. I do like white-based aggro still. It's been very reasonable for me. So the question here is, do I want to play into a Frilled Mystic? If I don't play into a Frilled Mystic, they potentially get to... I think I'm supposed to play into Frilled Mystic here. Because if they don't have Frilled Mystic, they have like a Chemist's Insight, they get to just play that. Let's just smack them for 7 here. Because if they have a Ritualist, they might Ritualist at me next turn. Hey, what's going on, Himmy? We've not tried the Whirler Statue deck. Pretty much all the decks I play here are viewer-submitted deck lists. If you're interested in getting a deck that you'd like to see on stream at some point in the future, be sure to check out the deck submission link on my website. Okay, so they don't have Frilled Mystic at the moment, so that's good. Hey, Intense Genius, thank you very much for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people you can ship that to every single month, so thanks for supporting my content here this month with it. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Christy and the kids are all upstairs right now. I just like keep jamming Gruul Spellbreakers. I almost feel like I'm supposed to. I think I'm actually going to play Aurelia this turn, and maybe I should have done this last turn too, because if I draw a 5th land, I could double spell. Disdainful Stroke, okay. If they get to Chemist's Insight here, we're going to fall a little bit behind, because they're going to have to gas back up. Them having nothing extra is real good for us there. think if Aurelia was right last turn, it's right again this turn. I assume we're just going to keep getting counterspelled since they're not killing my Spellbreaker. It's possible that because I drew this, I'm supposed to just go 2-drop, 2-drop this turn. The problem with playing out 2-2-drops this turn is that it makes it so my opponent could just Ritual Assault the following turn. Land here would be really good. Untapped land. Perfect. So I'm going to lead on Growth Chamber Guardian. So that way if they counterspell this, I can like jam another Spellbreaker and possibly kill them. Alright, well now that they didn't counterspell this, I'm just going to play my land and attack for 3, and then pass the turn with Growth Chamber Guardian's activation up. I don't want to activate Growth Chamber Guardian proactively here, because they can respond to adapting with the removal spell. Alright, so now I'm going to adapt it right now, so that way my opponent doesn't have the opportunity to kill it in response to the adapt, because if they kill it in response to the adapt trigger, I don't get to go find a crab friend. And everybody wants a crab friend. Well, control decks as a whole are much better in best of 3 than they are in best of 1. Also, keep in mind, like, 1 tournament's worth of data doesn't mean the format's defined or, like, we know what's going on. If this format's going to end up being anything like the format that we had last season, which is incredibly likely, we don't really know what's going to be good for a while yet. The format needs a lot of time to develop. They're probably dead here, right? Between, like, the Spellbreaker and this dragon. Yeah. Hasty creature is good, you know? How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without my wonderful subs. They're quite literally the folks that keep me employed. Bash my subscribers, I'd like to give a shout out to some of my wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors will love to help you get that close, clean shave. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/shave, you can save $5 on your brand new starter kit with them. Remember, chat, just because you like playing the degenerate decks doesn't mean you need to look like it. Hurley Burley Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars. If you head on over to hurleyburleystudio.com, you can find a wonderful portfolio of border extensions and full art replacements that they've done there. And you can use code Jeff10 to save 10% on all of your purchases there with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. And of course, InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website. Ender Green Gaming, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. And Joel, thanks for doling out a sub gifty. Welcome. Thanks for sharing the love. I actually finally remembered to grab my shuffling deck from the other house, and I didn't bring it downstairs. I'll have to get that later. That was a really good live league. Do you have broadcast experience before live streaming? That actually wasn't a live read. That was all for memory. That's just what we do. I don't have papers in front of me. I have a small amount of experience from high school and undergrad doing some live stage work, but that's about it. Props are great. Props make shilling easier. Who doesn't love a good prop? Hitting the green source there is excellent. If we just draw one more land, we get to curve 2, 3, 4. Real decks have curves, chat. Never forget. Real decks have curves. Exclamation point deck will get you the deck list that we are currently playing under. Thought Erasure. Read 'em and weep. Ooh. Ooh. We found a piece of candy, chat. Nummy candy. When Gruul Spellbreaker gets double right, it's just so good. Just like, how about a 4/4 and I attack you? Alright, land please. Land please. Rats. Alright, would you like your 2 for 1? What did I do in theater? I performed in a couple of plays, sang very badly, stage acted a little bit, and then I did a lot of lighting and sound type stuff. Put my technical background to good work. Now that I'm a part of Tempo Storm, do I do any kind of content for them? I'm doing content for them right now. This content is brought to you by Tempo Storm and all of our wonderful Tempo Storm sponsors. Dunk. I wonder if I'm supposed to play the Rekindling Phoenix out just to get it into play. Yeah, generally speaking, combo tends to be very fringe in standard, if at all playable. The Bant Hero list was a viewer submission, just like a lot of the decks that we play here on stream. Which is one of the reasons we originally started taking viewer decks. There's so many awesome things out there to work on. It's great to spread the ideas around a little bit. Squee! Thanks for cashing in for the 13th month in a row. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, that's... Combo tends to be either fringe or broken in standard. Agree with that assessment. Alright, so this crab. Do I want to play this crab with haste? If I play this crab with haste, they have to block 2 of my creatures, right? I think that's good for me. Hello, Declan.
Daddy.
Are you being good?
Mommy, does it help set the game up? You do a good start.
You want to come say hi to the internet?
Mommy, set up the game.
Mommy's setting up a game for you?
Mama, wait, it didn't work for her.
Oh, it didn't work. Oh, no.
But mommy tried. But mommy doesn't help.
I think we're supposed to attack with everything here and force like 2 blocks.
I just watch you do this.
You want to watch me for a minute? That's okay. I think you can watch for a minute.
I'll play with you.
Dive down on Bolas is kind of brutal here. If they hit the land, they can kill the Phoenix, but that doesn't really do anything, right? Declan does have great hair. My hair had to go somewhere, right? Dad doesn't have much hair. Don't try and pull out what little hair I have. It's not nice.
I was playing with you.
Oh, you're just playing with it? Oh, you want to hear this out for a minute? Alright, we're going to go ahead and play the land out here, because if they hit, like, Disinformation Campaign or Nickel Bolas, they're going to take it out of our hand anyways. Yikes! Please don't have a spell. Alright, well, we've got this back. We've got this. Oh, they have to chump block this. That's so good for me, because it gets haste when it comes back into play. Sweet. Sweet. We beat the Niv-Mizzet. Charge!
I can hear the card game.
You can hear the card game?
Yeah.
Are they crashing? Dunk, dunk. Dunk, dunk.
I win!
We won! That's pretty cool, huh? Do you like when we win? I like when we win, too.
You're super old.
I'm super old. Thank you, Declan. I appreciate you.
Actually, you're not super old because you got a crack on your back.
Oh, there's a crack on my back?
That's all better. No.
Alright, so... Collision is probably worth playing here. Is Gruul Spellbreaker the cut? While haste is nice in this matchup, they don't have Settle the Wreckage. So I think Gruul Spellbreaker is probably actually the cut.
Why is him? Pick this one.
Nope, we gotta cut this one. If you watch nice, you can hang out for a few minutes. But if you try and grab the mouse, you gotta go back upstairs with Mom, okay?
I'll talk upstairs.
You wanna go back upstairs?
Who's gonna be the white guy?
We're the fire girl right now. We'll be someone else when we pop in. We always change. What? Now we're the nature girl. Who will we be in a second? We're the artifact guy.
Why? I want guy is here.
All right, so all the hands that are all spells always look good. This hand's pretty good. Okay, can you say bye, internet?
Bye, internet. Hi.
All right. Be good for Mom. Yeah, I'm in for Am I gonna bottom this here? I think I'm supposed to bottom this here because if they kill my Incubation Druid, I need to draw a second white source, right? So I think I'm supposed to bottom this. I'm gonna bottom this. That might be wrong. I don't know. Gives us more chances to find a 4-drop too, which is sweet. We all know where Jeff's hair went. There's a deck list on your screen. Alternatively, you could type !deck in chat to get a direct link. All right, so I hit the white source here, which is great. Do I... Like, they're representing a counterspell here, right? So I have to decide how do I want to play into this counterspell, if at all. I think I'm gonna lead on... Growth Chamber Guardian. That just resolved. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this land into play tapped and pass the turn now. I don't have to worry about Ritualist at the moment, which is nice. They don't have double black. And then I think I just jam Lyra here. Feels a little bit bad that we lost that. Next turn, I can shock in Temple Garden, adapt the Incubation Druid, and then adapt the Growth Chamber Guardian, which is nice. You're right. I probably did miss damage. I agree with your assessment. Yeah, you're right. I should have adapted before combat. If they had like a Shivan Fire or a Shock, I could have been in trouble. I think if they would have blocked here, I would have just adapted this instead of doing this, then this, to prevent myself from getting into too much trouble. Been outside today? Nope. I rarely leave my house, okay? And I'm not planning to start anytime soon. Why would I go outside, chat? We just got a new wonderful house. The indoors are great. All right, looking to dodge Rituals here. Flip Nick isn't good enough. Grab our last grab person. Great. Looking to draw a Hasty Threat or a way to kill this. Oh, yeah. How about a Hasty Threat and a way to kill this? I only wanted one. We got both. Worm. This card is so good. It's unbelievable how good Ravager Worm is. It's every time I cast, it's just like, holy crap. I made the mistake of showering this morning and my hair froze on the way to the bus. Yikes. This card is very good. Driving in my worm, beep beep. The worm's just so flexible too, right? Because like being able to have a card like that in our deck that's a removal spell when we need a removal spell, but it's just a threat when we don't need a removal spell is so huge. Am I gonna play user submitted in rank best of 3 is coming tomorrow, I believe. I believe it's tomorrow afternoon was their schedule. And yeah, I plan to play the viewer submitted decks in rank best of 3. This hand's really good. Real decks have curves, chat. I brewed Journey to Eternity. In my first match, someone wormed my flipped Journey, so I deleted the deck. I concur with your play. Bugler Rats. Itty bitty bugle boy, company B. I get that that actually says burglar rats, okay? I understand that. But to me in my heart of hearts, they will always... Can you make a shirt that says real decks have curves? Yeah, I probably should, actually. I saw someone else created an emote for the Mathis for blockers saying we always do already. So do I jam? I can Aurelia and slam them for 6 here. I think I'm gonna play Rekindling Phoenix first here. Because I don't want them to chump with the Footlight Fiend and then kill my Llanowar Elves and cut me off by 4th mana. Rawr. Now I don't mind blocking here because they want to kill my elf. I don't really care anymore. Sure. It's a carnival. No, Spawn of Mayhem's been a little bit awkward so far. I think the biggest problem with Spawn of Mayhem in my experience playing so far is that Spawn of Mayhem really wants to go in decks that have red 1-drops, and the mana just isn't good enough to play a red 1-drop alongside a... to play a red 1-drop alongside a black 3-drop. This is not a Rhythm of the Wild matchup. This probably is a Worm matchup, huh? Probably don't mind that. I think Gruul Rhythm played better than this. I don't know. This deck's very similar to Gruul Rhythm. And, like, the white splash is, like, free-ish because we have such good mana. So, the black 1-drops are fine for powering out Spawn of Mayhem. They're just not good in general. Like, in comparison to the red 1-drops you get to play, they're much worse. Seems good. It needs more dual lands, Caboose. You basically need like 15 turn 1 red sources to play a red card on 1 consistently, and you need like 17 black sources to play a black card on 3. Filter lands don't even necessarily do it, because filter lands don't... I actually really like Footlight Fiend, and Gutter Bones has been kind of mediocre in my playtesting so far. Gutter Bones is just so much mana to bring back. Like, 3 mana to get back your 2/1 is a lot of mana. I really love this card in the aggro and control matchups. This is such a well-designed, great use of Riot, in my opinion. Like, against aggro, this card gets to be a 4/4, that's a big body, and against control, it gets to be a 3/3 with haste that shuts down Settle. This card does kind of suck against mid-range decks, but that's fine, we just board it out there. Ditch the extra one of these. Our hand is really good. The any angel into Lyra curve is just like vomit inducing. It's so powerful. I'm leading on Shalai as opposed to Aurelia here, because Shalai is going to bait out a Bedevil. I'm not going to block this because I don't want them to draw a card. I don't care about taking 1 point of damage, and I'm about to gain infinite here. The old 8-point swing. Your move, Yugi boy. I think we're pretty done here. I'm not blocking because I don't want them to draw cards. Come at me. Good game. I agree. I concur. Yeah, Shalai and Lyra are like BFFs forever. So a couple of people have been talking about the 3-drop angel, and I'm not. I should update the stream title. We're basically playing 9 angels now. I think I like Rhythm and the other enchantment better. It's tough to play a white card on 3 and play red cards on 4. Like, the difference between having a white card on 3 and a white card on 5 is pretty different. I had to reinstall because there was an update. Normally I have emotes off. Seems pretty good. Yeah, stream. Easy import export is great. If you want another place to easily import decks from, be sure to check out my website too. There's a bunch of all the deck pages for standard on my website have a one-click arena export on them. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and put some crabs into play here. Hey, congrats, Zags. Assemble the crabs. Ah, Magic standard format. One of the places where you could say, I've got a bunch of crabs, and it have it not be awkward. Is there a site for beginner decks? I am not familiar with any of good free-to-play resources offhand, no.
Let's see if you're worthy. Sometimes restoration means retribution.
Rude. Of course, Wall of Roots is still bugged. What do you think this is? Where have you been? Alright, so I have 6 mana total. I could adapt Incubation Druid and then play Growth Chamber Guardian out. That doesn't seem unreasonable. I could also attack everything into Vivian and kill it. I think that's the line, actually. I think the line is everything attack Vivian and take her off the table. It's like need to take their card advantage out, right? Otherwise she's gonna bury us. Sure. Sure. This block is actually like, do I Do I spend 5 mana to eat their Branchwalker here? Or do I just like play spells post-combat? I might just go like threat here. I think I just like leave them the 3/2 and like just like play these 2 cards out.
Always survive. You'll see.
And like, because I'm exposing the Growth Chamber Guardian here, that ideally they're gonna burn the Vraska's Contempt on this Growth Chamber, which could let Shalai stick around. All right, so they can activate their Druid. I'm gonna attack with these 2. Because even if they double block, I get to kill at least 1 thing here. Am I streaming with delay? Well, all streams have a short delay. If you have a decent internet connection, your delay to my stream should be sub 5 seconds, though. I have low latency enabled. You pop a fart, and you pop a fart. Everybody pops a fart. No, the Kiki Cord League was actually almost 2 hours, Psycho Smurf. We went 3 and 2. Yeah, if your connection is bad, there's always gonna be a delay. This is a finality. It's the final countdown. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Nice, Savage Rucker. I definitely think more aggressive is the way to go. Giant Grixis, also pretty unbeatable. Yeah, this game's been a pretty good example of like why Gruul Spellbreaker is not very good, right? In this matchup, sorry. So I like Gruul Spellbreaker in general. In fact, I was talking about how I like it against aggro and control, but in mid-range, it's very middling. It's like not a place you want to be. I think Rhythm's kind of mediocre here too. I want Tocatli and Lava Coil and Vivian. I think I want Ravager Worm too. Collision Colossus is a little mediocre. God, this sideboard almost lines up perfectly. It's got really good ins and outs. Trim an Incubation Druid. My curve's kind of chunky. I probably shouldn't cut a ramp card. Should probably cut a piece of top end. Lyra's a little mediocre. She doesn't have haste and she gets shut down a lot of the time. That seems fine. So, Tocatli Ravager Worm is a good example of it's okay to play good. It's okay to play 2 individually powerful cards that have some anti-synergy with each other. So if Tocatli Honor Guard is sitting in play, I'm probably far enough ahead in this matchup that I don't mind drawing a worm that's only going to be a 5/6 or a 4/5 with haste. Tocatli does not stop Riot. Just so people are informed and understand how Magic works. Riot is not an enter the battlefield effect. So it only stops the worm from fighting or destroying a land, which I think is fine. This hand's a little bit speculative, but like, if we hit a land on 2, we're gonna get on board very quickly. Good timeout, Serpy boy. I think, I talked about this earlier, Come Eat Pizza. I think you can't play aggro in this format without being something like mono red. The aggro decks that aren't mono red just come up too short too consistently against these Wild Growth Walker decks. You need to be like mono red or white weenie to have some really big bursts of damage, basically. Otherwise, Wild Growth Walker just like puts you in a little box in the ground. It's not a good scene. It ain't pretty. I think I just play this with haste and smack them, right? No, it depends on how a keyword is worded. If something is an enter the battlefield effect, it will say, when this card enters the battlefield, do this other thing. So if a card doesn't say, when this enters the battlefield, do this other thing, it's not an enter the battlefield effect. Cards that are enter the battlefield effect say, when this enters the battlefield, make this happen. So, Dauntless Bodyguard or things like Adapt, you'll notice there's a colon in these. Colons signify that something is a activated ability. So, an effect that happens when something enters the battlefield is what we refer to as a triggered ability in Magic. When this happens, then do this thing. Cards that have an activation cost were referred to as activated abilities. So I'm going to go ahead and Lava Coil the Ravenous Chupacabra here, which means they're dead because they attacked, right? I get to attack them with these and they die, unless they have like a fungal infection here. Yeah, this attack was really greedy. It left them dead to any removal spell. The person who commented that this is probably reasonable because of the squids, Grixis, I think you're correct. I'm gonna leave one of these in and cut the other Lyra, because Lyra's kind of mediocre against their Vivians. What's going on, Villa? Welcome to a live one. Well, this hand is mono-tapped lands, but I think I keep it. I got you, Choke. That's what I'm here for. Here to help. Activated abilities, triggered abilities, replacement effects. No, those cover all the big ones for sure. Ding, ding, ding. That's perfect. Never didn't have it, etc., etc. For those that are new to the stream, I see people asking about decks coming up. All the decks that are listed in my stream title are decks we still have yet to play. We're very organized around here. And decks, I like to keep the deck title updated so people know what to expect. So if there is a deck listed in my stream title, it means I still have yet to play it. Yeah, I agree, Croaker. Hellkite was a good addition to Grixis Dragons for sure. If they have a Vivian here to shoot my Shalai, I have Hellkite to run Vivian down after the fact, so that's nice. And if they don't have a way to shoot my... Wow, that's their play this turn? That seems really good for me. What do you need to ask me? Help you set up the game. No, Dad's working right now, buddy.
Yeah, just come upstairs.
Hey, remember that time we replaced a Lyra with a collision? Man, that was... Whoever suggested that was really smart and thin, no joke. That's very, very good for us here. You want to say hi?
Hi. Are you carrying me or something?
I can carry you for a second. Oh, you want to steal my headphones? Sure.
No, put them on me.
Oh, you're putting them on me. Okay. I got you. I love you too, buddy. You're sweet when you want something.
And then turn.
It's your turn. Okay, we're gonna give the dragon. Ah, we won. You came in and we won. You're so good at this, Declan.
Yeah.
You're good. You're pretty cool.
Yeah,
Who's that on the computer screen?
Me.
That's you.
There's hands on there.
There's hands on there too.
Yeah.
Declan and hands.
Yeah, those are actually mine.
They're your hands? Maybe. Can you wave like the hand? Say hi. How old are you, Declan?
4.
You're not 4. Almost 4. Soon. Going on 14?
No, it's my turn.
Can you press the orange button?
Okay. It's my turn to crash.
Good job. Good job.
Actually,
Hey, A5H. Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that.
okay,
Welcome back. Can you drag this one out?
which one?
That one right there. Click. Oh.
Oh, I do. Which one?
Think we're gonna win?
That's gonna work out though. That's working out though.
I think that's a good one to play too.
That's gonna.
You gotta wait till it's our turn though, okay?
That's gonna work out though. That's gonna work out.
Wonder if he'll turn 40 at 17 just like his dad, probably.
Until war, I play this game.
You're pretty good at playing the game?
Yeah, I won't be good at it if I turn where I'll be good.
You're gonna be good at it? Alright, play it. Go ahead, drag it out. Good job. Good job.
One.
And we're gonna do this one right here, okay? This one right in the middle. So I'm gonna lead it. We're gonna lead an Inky. Go ahead, drop it. Yeah, good job.
I wanna wait here.
Yeah!
Where's blasting?
I'm gonna crash him.
Or blast? Where's blasting?
So we're gonna lead on the Incubation Druid, so that way we can curve into Vivian sooner. Okay, it looks like they're playing the... Can you play this one? It looks like they're playing the... this one. It looks like they're playing the Esper Midrange deck, which means that they likely have less removal and Vivian's a little bit less good. Yeah, we can ramp up into Aurelia here, which is nice.
I'm flashing him.
Soon. Click on your guy. Gold Dead Ringer, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Oh, close.
Who? That guy.
Next turn, we're going to crash, okay?
We're going to blast too.
We're going to blast and crash.
It's going.
You're a sweet boy. They killed our crasher. Ooh. All right. Hey, can you go upstairs with Mom, please?
No. I need one more turn.
One more turn? Okay. One more turn. We're going to do this one. We're going to do this one. Can you do this one here?
Okay. Actually.
Drag him out. Yep, that one right there. You can do it. Roar. Click that one.
This one.
Nope, not that one. We're going to get more crab friends. All right, back upstairs with Mom, you go. Did I miss a mana? I don't think so, right? Because this takes... We're probably going to get run over here. Oh, I could have played the elf with haste. Yeah, I could have... Well, I mean, I guess this gets to be... So, like, playing this with haste is meaningful, but, like, playing it out as a 2-2 is, like, also going to be meaningful with how many blockers that they're going to have, right? Or how many attackers. Like, it's kind of like a 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other type situation. I think I'm gonna do this into incubate this, play this, play this. You can always adapt a creature with counters on it. It just won't do anything. So adapt says you could do this, but then if it has counters on it, nothing happens. Do I want to attack and trade this in here? I don't think I do. I think I'm just like hanging tight on the ground until I can find some air creatures. Our lack of removal in the main deck is a little bit awkward here for sure. Yeah, the opponent's deck looks very similar to Wyatt Darby's Esper midrange deck, the top 8 of the last open. We played that on stream Monday. Yeah, pretty sure it was Monday. So, no more crabs to get. No reason to attack my 3/3s into a 3/4. Next turn, Rekindling Phoenix comes down and gets to start pressuring in the air. Alright, let's get to a sideboarded game, shall we? I play Modern and Legacy every morning, average user. My first hour and a half to 2 hours of the day is playing a Legacy League or Modern League on Magic Online. You can always find my schedule on my website, jeffhoagland.com. Alright, so I want these. I don't think I want Collision. I don't think I want Rhythm here. Seems good. Yeah, as far as like just being linear goes, the opponent's deck's definitely much better at ignoring us than like, especially when they get double hero, right? Tecatli does not stop hero triggers. The hero is a cast trigger. So when you cast the spell, the hero triggers and puts this thing on the stack. Otherwise, Tecatli would be worth bringing in. I guess they have Deputy of Detentions and Belguard, so maybe Tecatli's good enough, like a 1/3 blocks. Maybe that card is okay. Do I play Paper Magic at all? On occasion. I played a lot of Paper Magic historically speaking, but I play a lot less now that I stream full time. I play Magic all during the week, so like traveling to do it as well is a little bit tough. It's not amazing, but fine. Hopefully run some lands off here. If we get to go like 2, activate this, 4, 5, 6, like we draw 4 lands in a row, this hand's very good. That is not drawing land so far that we're looking for. We were on the play, so we had to bottom the elf because we were on the play. If we were on the draw, we would have snap kept that elf for sure. Their hand's having a slow start, so that's good for us. Hopefully we draw some more lands here. I'm activating this now so that way I can get him extra points of damage and not risk it dying. $13 months. Thank you for the support, Look No Numbers. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, we hit 2 lands in a row, so that's a good start. Let's do it. Let's do it again, shall we? Rats. Look, I shouldn't. This is what happens when I try and do things at once. Listen, we fixed it, okay? All right, refresh if it's still gone. Yep, let's control that a feature, huh? Oops. I wonder if we're gonna lose a bunch of people. I guess there's a good chance we lose a bunch of people now. They got rid of, stupid Twitch got rid of, I can't mod people by clicking on their names anymore. I used to be able to just like click on names in chat and like click another button to mod, but I can't do that anymore, which is really awkward. How many viewers does hosting someone by mistake lose us? Find out today. All right, so they're dead to the Skarrgan Hellkite. Haste. I just have no idea how my computer works today. I have no idea how my computer works today. Just everybody, that's fine. No justice, it's cool. It's cool. Everybody calm down, okay? Everybody, in the words of the greatest poet of our generation, you just need to shake it off. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. This hand is real slow, just mono temples, but we'll keep it. Did somebody else just sign off? Did we get a host? Was there a host in there? Did we get hosted? Oh, look at that skill game. Well, thanks everybody dropping in. Somebody must have signed off. Hi, Declan. You want to play with me all day? I don't know about all day. If you're quiet, you can watch, okay? But Dad has to do the clicking, so it's quick, okay?
I do well. I go upstairs.
There must have been a host. Is my dashboard not filtering hosts?
Stomping Ground.
All right, so I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna attack for 1. Let him stay, you monster. Listen. He'd love to stay all day, too. Wow, weird. The viewer number just, like, rubber banded all around. What if it was a bug from the hosting thing? It might have been a bug from when I hosted. Alright, so I have 4 mana here. If I play the Phoenix and they play a Deputy of Detentions, I could get into trouble. But I think I'm supposed to play the Phoenix as the highest upside play. When will Declan start streaming? Sometime in the near future, I'm sure. Declan draft? I don't know about that. To be fair, a Declan draft probably wouldn't be much worse than a Jeff draft. Probably wouldn't be a ton of variation between those two things. I'm playing the Phoenix here, because even if they have the Deputy, they get to draw 1 card off my deck. But now, like, next turn, I can Lava Coil this plus Growth Chamber Guardian, which gets me back to a reasonable spot. Like, the rate of resource efficiency I get to be here, while they do get to draw a card with the Thief, I get to be really resource efficient. And my deck that's kind of clunky, being resource efficient is kind of important. And now, like, if I manage to draw another land next turn, I'll be able to, like, play another 4-drop plus play a Growth Chamber Guardian. And I'm doing this while I'm pressuring them, right? Remember, while this does draw cards off my deck, the best source of card advantage in Magic is killing your opponent while they have cards in their hand. So, like, if they drew a bunch of extra cards, it doesn't matter if I'm winning the game. Hey, Zigzul, thanks for the 2nd sub gifty. I appreciate that. What is it costing a deck plate? It's $10 for subscribers to get a deck plate on stream. You can Check out all the details on how to submit a deck at bit.ly/Google here. If they hit a lava coil off of our deck, that's kind of a worst case scenario here for us. Because then they get to exile my Phoenix for only 2 mana. Alright, I think I attack with both here. Yeah, it is, Marty. Where's the bin for the decklist stream? You turned yours off. It's his turn. Alright, so I'm going to attack with both of these. If they hit another deputy, I'm going to be in trouble because they're going to get both my Phoenixes here. Am I supposed to let them get both Phoenixes, or am I supposed to play a Lyra here? I think I'm supposed to just play a Phoenix. Playing Phoenix is better against Mortify, which is a card they could have too. Like, they're more likely to have Mortify than a second deputy, right? Because there's 4 Mortifies in their deck and there's only 3 more deputies. And like getting to double spell this turn is also valuable as well. They found our Aurelia, okay. These can't really attack in profitably here, right? I guess I just attack with all of them. This exchange seems good for me, right? Yeah, you can find my Hadana's Climb deck and lots of other decks on my website. Hadana's Climb is one that has its own dedicated page even. Come up with a price for a draft where Declan's picked the cards. I'm curious where the price lies. Yeah, probably around there, Nivik. It's probably not unreasonable. Flying creatures are just so good, and this deck basically just gets to play all the best flying creatures in Standard, right? They shocked that in, which means they have a Mortify. Is there any point in attacking with the elf there? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I guess I wasn't expecting them to dogpile my 4/4. Let's play one more with this before we move on. Someone just reached out to me on Twitter letting me know that they're very disappointed they got timed out in my chat, so they're not gonna watch anymore. I just dropped them a response letting them know they should read the stream rules before they click past them. There are leagues on Arena, but if you play the leagues like a Magic Online league, you can't make changes to your deck in between matches, and I like being able to edit decks in between matches. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this in the dark, right? Just like no plays till turn 4 on the draw, even with good mana, probably isn't good enough. For the record, people often ask why people ask to get timed out as a meme on this channel. People ask to get timed out as a meme because there's people like that who get really upset when they get timed out for breaking the rules. You can't fire me, I quit. Yeah, basically. Oh, Volper, we can't have that. Is it that time of the day? Make an example of me. Got it. Knights to the ready! Defend the realm! Make examples! Examples of everybody! Fun fact, this is objectively more fun to be a mod on my channel than any other channel on Twitch. Mods have the most fun here, chat. It's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah, now that the rhythm resolved, like, everything else resolves, right? Like, sans this Vivian read, so we're probably about to be in a pretty good spot here. What's my favorite control deck to play? Probably, I think, Jeskai Control, but we also haven't played a good Esper deck yet. A couple of people submitted the Esper deck that did well at the Open, so we'll get to that at some point. Mods, don't time everybody out. If they ask to be timed out, time them out. Read what you're slaying, chat. So, by mentoring a counter onto Incubation Druid, this gets mana next turn. So next turn I have a ton of mana. I think I'm just like beep beep attack, right? Sabotage resolves. And you know what's sweet now? Because they did that, I now get to Vivian read because they tapped off their counter spell.
The wild wasn't meant.
Let's kill that one.
Fire.
Nice counter spell. Took a nap, dreamed I got timed out here, think I need one. I got you, Derelic. Rhythm, when rhythm is good, it's really good. Oh, I don't have another green mana, that's awkward. Alright, do you have another removal spell or are you dead? Dunk, dunk. The small Naya deck we started with was kind of mediocre, but this build feels pretty good. I'm kind of digging what this deck is doing. -5. What's our current temp? My current temp is -9. We're currently -9, and we're supposed to get down to -18 this evening. And it's warmer here because I'm in central Illinois. So like north of me in Chicago and then north of them in Minneapolis and Wisconsin. Like, do you watch Game of Thrones? Christy and I have watched a bunch of it. I think we didn't watch the last season or maybe the last 2 seasons. At this point, we're waiting for it to finish so we can just binge all of it at once. We use Fahrenheit here in the United States. If they had a removal spell, they would have done it before I entered combat. So, like, it didn't matter what I pumped because we knew they didn't have it. Gosh, this hand is so absurd with the green source on 1. But all of your hands that are mostly spells look absurd, right? So mulligan the bad ones. This hand's very reasonable. The Incubation Druids have been good. Having 8 ramp creatures is... Gonna bottom that, just looking for more lands. Doze, you just got a 10-minute break for using the word retarded in a derogatory fashion. Never do that in my chat again or you'll be permanently banned. Please and thank you. All right, well, we've got plenty of birds. $15 subbed. Coincidentally, that was the temperature this morning. What's going on, Skip Dash? I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I just slammed the bird here. It demands... The nice thing about bird pairs well with Vivian, because bird demands Vraska's contempt as a clean answer, then Vivian also demands it. So, like, once they contempt the bird, Vivian's more likely to live. Stick around. Huh. Do I jam Aurelia here? I think I jam Aurelia. If they have a counterspell for this, they're less likely to have a counterspell for Vivian later. Can we also, like, take a moment to appreciate how good this deck is against Ritual of Soot? Our big bombs kind of laugh at that card, which is sweet. Would I do an emergency powers build around? I don't know. I don't know if that card's really standard playable to us. Probably not. I think any Abzan deck is viable. We're actually going to be playing Abzan Control here in a little bit. It's going to be 2 decks from now, so hang out. Maybe we'll find out together. I also think there's probably a very good Abzan... I also think there's probably a pretty good Abzan Angels deck in the format somewhere.
Make way for your captain. Oh, I'm just getting started.
That is not the green source I wanted for Christmas. But that's not really that big of a deal. We'll just go ahead and Rekindling Phoenix, kill Vraska.
Can't go back empty-handed.
Killing them is also how you can deal with Grixis. Yeah, Vivian Reed and Collision are 2 of the ways we take it out of play. You can also just, like, go wide around them in the air. Opponent struggling to keep up with our high-quality threats here. Cast Down, notably really awkward against our deck between our legendary creatures and Shalai. And Rekindling Phoenix, also not great. Okay, so let's start by attacking with both of these. Yeah, Grixis flies. That's why I said go wide around it in the air. Worth noting the way they tapped her. I guess they have an extra blue over here. Moment of craving, sure. That card's not very good here. Alright, so they're holding up a counterspell of some sort here, I think. You know, I thought about putting that up, Fulpert, but I just didn't have enough time this morning because Declan destroyed a bunch of stuff. is Declan. Declan said, for people that weren't here earlier, Declan shredded a bunch of styrofoam all over my living room this morning before Christy and I got out of bed. So I was a little bit late getting on because of that. We had, Christy picked up one of those, like, IKEA-style build-your-own piece of furniture entertainment, like, TV stands for our living room upstairs so we could put our TV on it. And we, like, put it together and, like, left the styrofoam stacked in the corner when we went to bed. And Declan shredded it. I don't have my tablet down here. Do I? Does Google sync my photos? No, Google hasn't sunk my photos in a long time. That's sad. I have a photo of Declan. It looks like he was out in the snow because his hair is just white with styrofoam pellets. No, this is game 2. We're up a game. Worm can kill Grixis sometimes. Sometimes Worm will kill Grixis. Grixis is often very large. I don't know what those cards are. If you're interested in whether or not I do a build around for something, please submit it through the form on my website. I will respond after I get a time to look the cards up and think on it. Worm does kill Azcanta. I think our opponent's just pretty dead here, right? Looking pretty dead. God bless you, Bulletproof Pope. Alright, so, to wrap what we did here. So this originally started as a Naya aggro deck. Filthy Rebel Scum with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much and welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. To wrap what we did, we started with a little Naya aggro deck that was playing Pelt Collectors and Thorn Lieutenant. That deck that we started with is what I like to refer to as a mid-range aggro deck. It's a deck with an aggressive slant that moves a little bit further up the curve, so it tends to try and close the game on turns like 5, 6, 7, as it turns like 4, 5, 6. In this format, where Wild Growth Walker is very, very prevalent and powerful, I just think these mid-range aggro-style decks are mostly unplayable unless you don't expect to play against any Sultai or Green-Black. And I think, especially after the first tournament results, you're going to expect Green-Black-based decks to still be a large part of the format. They were one of the best type of decks last season, and they're still very, very good. So I think if you want to play Naya, you want to pull further up the curve like this deck is doing. I also think the way this deck is built is the way you build to optimize Rhythm of the Wild. This card is very powerful in the right situations if your deck is designed to maximize it. So this deck is built to maximize it with 9, 11, 13 creatures that come down up the curve past 3. If I was expecting to play this deck into a field of mostly mid-range, I might play these rhythms in the sideboard because this card tends to shine against control and be okay against aggro because it makes your threats a little bit bigger. So I think if I was expecting to play a ton of green-black with this deck, I would probably swap Rhythm and Tocatli Honor Guard or swap Rhythm and Lava Coil. Probably flip-flop those a little bit. Lava Coil in the main's probably not terrible too, just as it's such a quality removal spell in the format right now. That's going to wrap this deck for today. For folks that are new, if you haven't been in my stream before, we change decks every 90 minutes to 2 hours. So we're going to be moving along to Bant Vanafear or Bant Pod up next. All of the decks that we play here on stream are pretty much viewer-submitted deck lists or archetypes. So we're going to dive on in here to this deck that someone has sent in. Yes, most of the green-black decks have moved on to Grixis. Hey, the basic potato, it's pod time. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Welcome back.